Alright guys, Kazoo71 here on Ark Survival Ascended. This is recorded on 11/4, and I think 11/4, both 11/4. I'm going to put two videos in here together, show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. I saw a parasaur out here, so I want to come get it. It had two babies with it, so I want to try to see if I can grab both babies. Just doing that, just as, like I said early on, the game came out on 10/25, as you guys know, and a lot of glitches going on at this point in the game. There's one of them right there running, but there was a lot of glitches at this point. There was you need to save constantly, otherwise it won't work. So there we go, got that one. That's the one I was trying to get. There's another one too, but yeah, you got to save constantly, otherwise it was crashing all the time. And then what I found out, and I don't know if this had to do with the early on game or it's just part of the thing, but the mods. So if you're playing Ark Survival Ascended, I'm going to tell you guys again, I've noticed this multiple times. Check before you load your game and make sure any mods you're using are updated. I don't even care if you're not using them. If they're installed, you have an installed mod, make sure it's updated. If it's not updated, it's going to crash. Alright, so check your mods before you get on every time. Make sure all your mods that you have installed are updated, otherwise the game will crash. Okay? So early on, this is that spot I was building at. So as you guys, I showed you guys the wall a little bit and what I was doing. Still working on it. It's got a ways to go, but I'm never going to finish it. Like I told you guys last time, or the time before, I'm going to end up moving because I decided I want to go in the water. And as you guys saw last episode, I tamed a couple of megalodons, 3 of them to be exact, and we're going to move on from there. And then this episode, I want to show you guys a little bit of this, what I was doing with the build parts, because I was telling you guys how these things work. So, and then next episode, we're going to go underwater and we're going to try to find us a basil. So, what I was trying to do is I was trying to pull this wall and connect it to my house, my building. And it didn't work. It doesn't mesh. Now, what I always do when I'm building, because I'm just OCD kind of when it comes to this kind of stuff, is I will build the base building. Then I will run some foundations out from the base building to where I want my wall. And then I will pick those foundations back up once I have the wall positioned. That way it's 100% perpendicular, parallel, asymmetrical, whatever you want to call it. All those terms that matter. Just making sure they mesh. In this instance, I didn't do that because I don't know why. I just started this wall because it was so dangerous and I didn't have time, and I was just throwing the wall down real quick to try to save myself. And I never did that. So normally, if I was going to stay here, guys, I would tell you guys what I would do is I would tear all this stuff up and I would rebuild it all, just because. And cool thing about Ark Survival Ascended is you could pick these pieces up, so it wouldn't matter too much because I could just pick up sections of this at a time and rebuild it and make it mesh with the actual building. But I didn't do that, and these pieces weren't jiving perfectly, so I'm just kind of jumping around showing you guys what I'm doing. I want to show you this part because I think it's really cool that you can actually do this. So as you can see, I'm actually snapping these pieces into, come on, I'm saying I'm doing this and I'm only, there it goes. It was right there. Come on. Come on to me. Anyway, you can snap these into these other ones. There it goes. Man, that was hard to do. You had to hit it at the right spot, right? So there we go. So now I have it snapped into the other one, and then when I put these other walls there, it's going to kind of just mesh together, and it looks kind of funky, but it works. So yeah, and then I'll fill that in later, but I'm not going to fill it in. Like I said, I'm going to end up moving. I don't even need this section of the wall. Nothing's coming in here. I just wanted to do it just because, like I said, kind of OCD when it comes to how does this look. I wanted the wall to go all the way around. So anyway, you can snap these in. This is what I was telling you guys before. These ceilings and these foundations will end up meshing. And the ones on the wall over there won't, because that wall is not perpendicular or perfectly in line with my wall from the building, so it's not going to work. But you can do it. So I just want to show you guys a couple of pieces of this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around. I'm going to skip some of this. What I did was I went back to my base. So at this time, like the day before or this day or this morning, wildcard, they did a patch on the game on the 4th, or it was the 3rd, and then that patch reset all the explorer notes. So reset them in that you can touch them and hear them again, but you won't get the buff from them again. So I hate when they do that. So as you can see, I keep saving often. And this is also the time when the metal nodes were not respawning for a bunch of us. So You know, some people were like, yeah, it works for me. Well, good for you. It didn't work for everybody. Most people it wasn't working for. So this is a spot where there's quite a bit of metal on this hill, and as you can see, there's none because I harvested it and never came back. But I did leave one over here, so I'm going to get that one. We're going to harvest that, and then we're going to move on to the Red Obelisk area. I want to show you guys those explorer notes over there. We're going to check them out and see if I can find them. But let's get down here. Let's grab, there's that metal node I left last time. It's still here. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. I'm going to show you guys how many swings it takes. We're not going to count them like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, but here we go. Let's get this rock broken. And if you haven't seen those metal nodes yet, that's what they look like. I'm going to say this again, guys. I said this multiple times. Basically, Ark Survival Ascended is Ark Survival Evolved. Just better graphics and a little bit of revamped foliage and fog and stuff like that. And a little bit of TLC they did. Not really TLC, but instead of building, the way the buildings work, they changed that a little bit. Everything else kind of looks the same. I mean, even the dinos, man. I could put this up to epic settings and those dinos still look the same to me. Maybe I'm just old and my eyes are bad. But here's one of these notes close to the Red Obelisk. I'll show you guys where it's at in a minute. We'll check the map out. I'm going to save it, of course.
I never thought this island was normal exactly. I mean, there are giant obelisks floating in the sky for Pete's sake. Not to mention that cave I found, which hid a platform similar to those found at the base of said obelisks. Well, similar, except for those oddly shaped holes that were carved into its podium. I guess I just didn't care about all that. So long as I had my beautiful, unique, and untainted ecosystem to study, I was happy. But now... no. I shouldn't write it off just yet. Not before I arrive at Rockwell's. There's still a chance that my data is off, or that I missed something obvious. I won't give up on my paradise just yet.
Alright, so there's one of those notes, as you guys can see. Now we're going to kind of find these three. There should be three over here on this little island here. In this corner here, there's usually three. So I'm going to try to find these guys. And like I mentioned before, they put them by these, they made like little ruins around all of them, or most of them. I have found one that's not around the ruins. So I apologize for the Discord bleeps in the background. I forgot to turn that off. Here's the next one.
I am perplexed. Even with an expanded number of test subjects, I just cannot find the passion that I once had for my research. I truly thought that my recent adventure had lit a fire in my belly, but I constantly find myself losing focus. Confound it all. Perhaps said adventure itself is the problem. Thinking about it, I am always eager to discuss the obelisks and the artifacts I found with my assistants, even when I'm not in the mood for research. There is a certain allure to them that I cannot describe, something that causes my thoughts to drift in their direction, like the pull of a strong tide. But it could simply be a passing fancy. I must give myself more time.
Alright, so there's number 2. Let's see if we can find it. Here's another one right here. Look at that. Just right by the other one, there's a second one. It's crazy how close they are together. But there's the map, so you know where I'm at. Let's grab this one.
I was ever so glad to see Miss Walker again. My assistants are clever in their own right, but dear Helena is still the only person that I feel comfortable diving into my deeper theories with. I fear that I may have kept her from getting a word in edgewise, though. Once I got going on the obelisks, why, I just couldn't contain my enthusiasm. My word, I really have become quite enamored with the subject, haven't I? Well, that settles it. After this next set of trials, I shall go check on the Iron Brotherhood's progress. Perhaps I can convince Miss Walker to join me. We could make a real scientific expedition out of it.
Alright, so they added this here. There I am on the map, and they added some little ruins over here, so I figured maybe they put that Explorer note in here. And every time I see these ruins, guys, I was going to check them out because they have made some changes to these by adding these things in. This is one of those changes I was telling you they did to the ground that makes Ark Survival Ascended a little different than Ark Survival Evolved. They also made the terrain a little rougher. It's not as flat, but you can break rocks you couldn't break before. Let's check it out and see what's in here. Yeah, there's nothing in here, it looks like. Yeah, it's just a little empty spot. Good place you could hide if you're playing PvP. God forbid you play PvP. Just trying to kill each other all day long. Anyhow, cool little spot. Here's another thing. There's nothing in this room. It just looked like there should be, but I got off to take a look. As you can see, squatting down, looking in there, it's just empty. Alright, so let's go find this note. There should be another note right around here. It's usually on the right by the water in these rocks down here. This is where it was on Ark Survival Evolved, so let's see if it's down here still. Just gotta find it. Gotta find them all, man. I've never found every note. There's so many of them. I'm pretty bad at it. There's actually web pages that show you the coordinates of every one. I've just never done it. There it is, right there. There we go. And look, they put a little ruin by it, just like all the others. There's the map. That's our raptor right there.
From afar, it's hard to believe that Quetzalcoatlus is one of the largest avians on the island. It shares a similar silhouette with the pteranodon and nests near the absolute highest peaks. Upon closer inspection, though, Quetzalcoatlus is an enormous creature of tremendous power. I find it strange that such a large, imposing beast would be so skittish. Unlike other creatures of its size, it is more likely to flee than fight. I suppose the decision to flee from any trouble keeps the species alive on an island with so many dangerous predators. But then, how does it eat enough to sustain its massive size? Tamed Quetzalcoatlus have a very specific role on the island. Too slow to be an efficient local transport, and too weak to be an effective warbird. The tribes I have encountered tend to employ it as a mass carrier. Quetzalcoatlus is primarily used by these masters of the skies to safely carry vast quantities of supplies, creatures, and human cargo from one base to another without tiring.
There you go. That's the explorer notes that I found. We're going to head over to this Red Obelisk right here. I'm going to check it out real quick. I'll show you guys the path up to it. That way when you got to walk your Rexes up to do the dragon fight, let's take a look at what it looks like. So here is the Red Obelisk, if you haven't seen it yet. Most of you guys watching this have been playing this game for 4 months now. But if you're still thinking about buying it and you're looking at it, that's why I do these. Just show you guys what they look like and what's going on. And there's the dragon, so you guys know. I didn't hover over the alpha, sorry. I'll do them all eventually. I don't know if I'll play all these other maps coming out. I probably will, who knows. But here we go, down you go. Here's the walkway. As you can see, you got a left path and a right path. We're going to follow this one because this is the one you're probably going to need to walk up to get your Rexes up here. If you're not using soul balls or cryopods or whatever. Hopefully Dino Storage version 2 comes out for this this map. But there you go, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, comments are appreciated, and I will see you next time.